2 decades after the vampires and werewolves were created, the two species started a war. Werewolves are highly infectious creatures, capable of turning anyone into their species. As a result, the head of the vampires, Victor, created a legion of his species to protect themselves from the werewolves. The werewolves rapidly growing in numbers, but were unable to change into humans until the birth of a boy, Lucien. After Lucien's birth, Victor kills his mother. As soon as he is about to kill the young boy, he resists the urge and departs. Lucien survives and grows stronger than the rest over the years. Lucien is a special species, a hybrid between werewolf and human, also known as a Lycan. After recognizing Lucien's potential, Victor plans to breed more Lycans using Lucien's blood and turns them into immortal slaves. Years later, at the council meeting, Coleman, Victor's advisor, informs Victor of the human nobles' dissatisfaction towards the werewolves, but Victor refuses to help the humans as he doesn't care. Meanwhile, a rider is seen being chased by multiple werewolves. She kills 2 of them while reaching back to the castle. This alerts Lucien and the vampires, and Lucien helps to shoot the remaining werewolves down. The rider reveals herself as Sonia, Victor's daughter. Sonia discredits Lucien, but Victor advises her to appreciate Lucien for saving her. However, Sonia remains unappreciative and leaves. Victor then reminds her of the importance of staying in the council and not wandering around. He stresses upon her to be more political, ruthless and cunning, and more importantly, loyal to her family. That evening while working, one of the Lycans decides to take a break due to fatigue. The overseer, Costa, gets furious and starts whipping and insulting him. Lucius then comes to stop him, but he insults Lucius before leaving. At another council meeting, Coleman complains that the werewolves' attacks have become too rampant, but Victor says they are protected by the Lycans. Coleman agrees but suggests that they should use the Lycans to protect the nobles too. However, Victor disagrees, but Coleman further suggests that they can create another batch of Lycans for that purpose, led by Lucien. To further justify, Coleman reminds Victor that it was Lucien who saved Sonia previously, and that they should hear her thoughts. However, Sonia is present for the meeting. Victor immediately sends his servant, Tanis, to find Sonia. Meanwhile, Lucien sneaks through an underground passage to meet Sonia. They kiss passionately and make out, after which he says he is able to unlock his shackles using a self-made key and plans to leave. She begs him not to do so, but he insists, saying that he will need her help. Later on, Tanis sees them together. He reports to Victor that Sonia has refused to see him or talk to him. He then reminds Victor that human nobles are arriving and they should get prepared. Before Sonia leaves to escort the nobles in, Lucien begs her not to go, but she insists she can protect herself. As she gets to the gate, Tanis tries to stop Sonia on Victor's command, but she disobeys and rides away on her horse. Meanwhile, Tanis tells Lucien to be careful, which leaves Lucien suspecting that Tanis knows about his relationship with Sonia. As Sonia arrives at her destination, the werewolves initiate their presence. This leaves Lucien feeling something is wrong outside. He tells Tanis that they should get out to help Sonia because they are going to be killed. Tanis stops him from going out, but Lucien pushes him away from the horse and rides outside the coven. The werewolves then start attacking the human enslaved people that are on their way, and Sonia tries to defend herself. One of the human slaves, Reyes, also fights against the werewolves. Lucien arrives and he tries to join the fight. As they soon get outnumbered, Lucien finds it difficult to protect Sonia in his human form, so he uses the key to remove his shackles. He transforms into a werewolf and commands the rest of the werewolves to retreat. Victor arrives and orders that Lucien should be shot. He slaps Lucien despite Sonia telling him Lucien did it to save her. Victor orders for Lucien to be beaten and imprisoned. While being punished, Sonia watches Lucien from a distance, feeling agonized. After the punishment, Lucien is taken to the prison. He meets Reyes, who emphasizes with him by giving him water. Meanwhile, Victor is curious why Sonia is concerned about a slave like Lucien. She reminds him that he had told her to show gratitude for someone who has saved her life. However, Victor says that Lucien doesn't deserve such gratitude because he has broken the rule. In prison, Lucien commends Reyes for his strength during the fight, and Reyes asks if he is also like the werewolves. Lucien reassures the Lycans aren't like the ruthless beasts out there, but Reyes reminds him that the werewolves obeyed him, which leaves Lucien wondering why. That night, Sonia secretly visits Lucien and starts apologizing to him. He then tells Sonya that Tanis knows about their relationship and that he might have a hidden agenda, so he wants Sonya to investigate on this. Later, the human nobles arrive with their tribute. Janosch's small offering prompts Victor to confront him. Janos claims that the vampires aren't protecting the humans. He then further agitates Victor by saying he can't even protect his own species. This triggers Victor and Victor kills him. Meanwhile, at the prison, the guards are making fun of the Lycans. Lucian gets triggered as he can no longer stand being insulted like this anymore. Victor meets Sonya later and tells her about his plan to kill Lucian. He asks her to suggest the next leader of the Lycans, which she unacceptedly does so. That night, Sonya ambushes Tanis, pinning him to a wall. She asks whether he had told Victor about her secret, and he says no. Sonya wonders why, and he says he wants a place in the council. Sonya then offers to give her place to him only if he helps her and continues to keep her secret. Later, Tanis takes Sonya to meet Lucian in the prison. She tells Lucian about Victor's plan to kill him and begs him to leave before sunrise. She says the best time to leave is while Victor and his guards are asleep. The plan is for her to meet him at a clearing by the river in 3 days. She kisses him before leaving. The following day, the human slaves are taken to be infected and turned into Lycans, while Tanis gives Lucian the key to the shackles. After being taken back into the prison, Reyes wonders why Victor has turned them into Lycans. Lucian explains that Victor wants to use the Lycans for his security, which disgusts Reyes. Lucian then tells them about his escape plan and invites Reyes and the rest to join him, and they agree. That night, when Costa comes back to check on the Lycans, but they tell him that Lucian has escaped, he proceeds to check on Lucian but gets brutally attacked and killed by Lucian in his werewolf form. He then starts releasing the rest of the Lycans and starts escaping. Most of the Lycans eventually get trapped, but Lucian manages to escape with Reyes and the rest. Lucian then promises he will return again and save them before leaving. They head towards the forest eventually. Later in the prison, Victor sees the unlocked shackles in Lucian's cell and he begins to suspect Tanis. Victor interrogates Tanis, and just when he's about to kill him, Tanis suggests to go check on the armory for the shackles key. Fortunately, he finds the key there, and Victor spares his life. In the forest, Lucian releases some slaves and asks for them to join him in fighting against the vampires, promising them immortality. As their numbers grow, Lucian asks Reyes to recruit more of them before leaving. Lucian eventually finds himself at the werewolf's den. The werewolf leader approaches him as if he is part of them. Victor begins to suspect Sonya, but she denies it. He bites her to check her memory and is in complete disbelief after learning about her relationship with Lucian. He gets furious and imprisons her. He informs the council that he has something Lucian wants, and Lucian will return. Meanwhile, Lucian awaits Sonya to no avail. A lady eventually arrives but reveals to be Luca, telling him about Sonya's arrest. Lucian insists on saving her, so he asks Reyes to lead the group. He returns to the Coven and tries to escape with Sonya but fails. They jump out to fight and Sonya fights her father. She overpowers him and tells him that he should back down for the sake of his grandchild. She says that she is pregnant with Lucian's child, which gets him furious. Victor is utterly disappointed in her and both Lucian and Sonya are arrested. While in prison, they reaffirm their love for each other, and Sonya insists that Lucian had no fault in her downfall at all. The following day, Sonya is taken to the Council for Judgment. She tries to remind the Coven of several things she has done for them, but it's all useless. They all vote in favor of executing her, including her father. Lucian is then beaten in front of Sonya, and he is made to watch Sonya exposing to sunlight, burning her to death. This deeply upsets Lucian, and Victor is seen upset as well in his room. Later, Victor comes to see his dead daughter. Lucian angrily changes into a werewolf and attacks Victor. He takes the neck piece and runs out, but he is stopped by the vampires. He roars to the other werewolves in the forest, signaling them for help. The werewolves, together with a team of Lycans, are seen rushing towards the Coven. The vampires equip themselves to fight but soon get outnumbered. Reyes removes the arrows in Lucian's body, and Lucian asks him to go free the other Lycans. As the fight continues, Lucian notices Victor attempting to escape. He runs after Victor and the two begin an intensive fight. Lucian eventually uses the sunlight to his advantage and stabs Victor in his mouth, pushing his body down the water. Lucian walks out as the crowd cheers. Reyes announces the war is over, but Lucian says it's just beginning, because he knows the vampires won't back down. Meanwhile, in a ship of the vampires escaping, Victor is seen alive and sealed in a hibernation chamber by Tanis. The movie ends with a voice narrating to a woman in black about Victor killing her family, not the Lycans, which she refuses to believe. This woman is also revealed to resemble Sonya. Subscribe to watch more videos like this, leave a like and help the channel out. Also leave a comment if you'd like us to recap your favorite movies. Thanks for watching.